13 years ago, me and my wife had our first child. William was born, there were some complications, but he was healthy and looked good, and we were so happy to bring home our child. And I can even remember I was so nervous that I woke up many times every night just to see him breathe. 3 years later, we started thinking a little bit that he didn't speak. He was well behaved and he was a beautiful boy, but he didn't speak to us and he didn't learn words like we expected him to do. When he got the diagnosis, children autism, the feeling when we left the hospital and we got this message that he will probably not ever be able to function with others, they didn't give him much hope. And we were devastated. And immediately we were thinking, how will he make it in the world? How will he survive? What will happen when we are not there anymore to take care of him? So all these thoughts came, and the only thing I knew that I could not travel as a conductor anymore, and I had to quit my job. The challenge was that we didn't know what to do. But then we found out that we need to spend as much time with him as possible. We decided that we will help him and we'll do our very best. We didn't want to give up. We started up against every, I would say, specialist advice that he wouldn't be functioning in normal school. So we started up by supporting him. When he was 4, there was a lot of music at home. I had instruments for him, percussion instruments and piano. He played all that he wanted. I tried to expose him for as much music as possible. But his passion ended up in the school band where he plays the percussion. Especially the timpanis are his favorite. I was there helping with the band practice and with the school choir and all these things that nobody thought he could do. He still could not speak, and through music he is now speaking and he can talk and he can communicate. And this is something that nobody believed he could. And I would say that for us as parents that was close to him, we now know why. Because when he played with the other children in the band, he played percussion instruments. So he was always very fascinated by rhythms. And when he was singing in the choir, he was standing around other children that were singing songs, and he suddenly started copying them and saying words. And suddenly the connection between the rhythm and what he heard and the words he could say became talking. It was probably pure luck from my side, since I love music. But of course, music was what I did, what I know. And it wasn't something you have to be a professional to do, because the musical things I did with William was not as a professional conductor. It was as a father that just tried to communicate. It depends on the child, but all kinds of music works. For us, it was Mozart. So he was always connected to the music, and that was the way we could communicate without the language. And that's the beauty of music. It's a language by itself. It doesn't need words. Basically, I just let him do what he wanted on the piano. Sometimes I played something for him and he would be improvising on top of that. But his favorite was when I played something and he picked up a drum and made rhythms. And something that we had a lot of fun doing is that I could make a rhythm and he would repeat. So maybe I did, and he would repeat that rhythm. So in that way, we were communicating as well. So there are no, I would say, rules and especially level you need to have as a parent. Just do what you feel is right to find the way to communicate between. But music as a tool, I could not recommend high enough, because it keeps us calm and it keeps us happy and it keeps us really sane in a good way.
Vi är tromslagarna i Londons skolkorps.
Och vi vill att du ska vara med på tromgruppa i London.
Now he is 13 years old, and it's so funny to see him sit behind these big timpanis and rhythm and control. He even needs to use his legs to change the pitch of the timpanis, and he has to read music, and he has to play with others. And there's no doubt in my mind that of everything he has done, this is the most developing, because to be in a band, he doesn't have to speak. He just have to relate to other children in the musical way. And he loves it. He looks forward to every rehearsal with his band. And when they're outside as a marching band, he plays the big drum, and he's so proud when he's marching down the streets and people are clapping. And this has just become the most important part of his life. We are, as parents, we know our children best. There can always be a professional suggestion or a diagnosis or, basically we were told he will not work. He will not be able to function among others. So we should just have him in an institution, a special school. Some children might need it. In William's case, we were not willing to give up on him until we at least tried it. All children are different, and if we really look hard, there is so much beauty in their minds and their hearts that we can all learn from. And for sure, it has made me a better person, and for my profession, it has made me a much better conductor.